the informative presentation and valuable information that you presented in the circular economy presentation, which is great. I'm going to share with you a screen of the presentation itself. So I'm going to do that right now. All right, let's do. All right, let's start with the story. And this goes back in February 2016. And I decided to create a leather goods brand, and I called it Authentico. And I've been always fascinated by product design because I'm coming from the UX, UI kind of arena. And the part where I wanted to create a physical product was really fascinating for me. And also the part of the manufacturing process, how things are made, is really interesting. In addition, of course, to my passion with actually making leather products, and you know, the leather itself is just great. It smells great also. So I wanted to create a backpack that is basically made for designers, and so I called it the designer backpack. Now, I was in Turkey at that time, and I had access to pretty much all the manufacturers are there, and I thought this was supposed to be easy. But anyway, I'll tell you about it more. So after really a year of hard work in making this backpack, and since I didn't have enough money, I thought that it is the best way to cover the cost of the first production run of the backpack is to launch a crowdfunding campaign. And in March 2017, I have launched the designer backpack on Indiegogo. And Indiegogo is a marketplace for crowdfunding campaigns. And hopefully, you know, after that, you know, after launching the campaign, I would scale my brand and with other products in the same way. And so for those people who don't know what crowdfunding is, the long version of it is it's the process of funding the launch of an initial production or a new product by raising capital collectively from individuals or backers. In return, backers get a special deal on a limited or exclusive product that they expect to receive at a later stage. So that's the entire understanding of crowdfunding. But in short words, it is basically, you know, asking money from people in advance to start your production and to basically cover the production cost of whatever you want to create. So now going back to the story, unfortunately, this is what happened. In April 2017, my campaign failed and I wasn't able to hit my goal. And my dream of launching the brand was literally over. So by then I realized that the problem wasn't actually the product. It was entirely about the marketing of the product way before its launch. And that's something that a lot of people don't do when they launch their campaigns online. So during this launch, I got an offer from a well-known marketing agency to support the brand. And basically they said, you know, we'll give you $25,000 in ad spend to guarantee at least $400,000 in revenue. And I said, wow, this is great. But unfortunately, the deal was that they take 40% of whatever revenue I make, which means I do all the work for another probably a year or two and barely make any profit and maybe be in debt. So, and don't get me wrong, I believe in crowdfunding, but there must be a better way to do crowdfunding. And that led me to, after 2 years of hard work and thinking about how to solve a problem, in February 2019, I've launched Fundlify, which is an independent crowdfunding and pre-order solution for agile, sustainable brands. And
sorry for interrupting, but are you sharing your screen because we can't see it?
Oh.
Yeah, بس القصة كتير بتحمس فما كان في قطعت قبل.
Really, yeah. Thank you for telling me because this is important. Okay, let me do that again.
Yes,
right.
please. I think now we can see it, but
You can see a portion of it, so I'm gonna make it
Yes,
larger.
zoom out. Yes.
exactly.
All right. Okay. Can you see it now?
Yes,
Very
perfectly.
clear. Thank you.
Yes.
All right, shall I repeat the presentation? All right, we'll continue this way. So basically, 2 years after failing the campaign, and I'm going to show you a few photos since we haven't. So this is the backpack that I've designed, but unfortunately, the campaign that I've created, again, it failed, and that actually took me to another direction. And let's continue from here. So crowdfunding is a great way. It's to actually be a sustainable kind of company. So because crowdfunding allows you to assess the customer demand before you start production, which means that, essentially overproducing or having waste is almost guaranteed. So the fact that there is a major problem with crowdfunding that crowdfunding can potentially solve is overproduction. And when we're talking about overproduction, it is affecting our environment, and obviously it is making our environment become hotter. And obviously the things that, as a result of our planet becoming hotter, you will have hurricanes and all of the terrible things that you're currently seeing right now. So crowdfunding allows you essentially to assess the demand and mitigate the risk of creating new products. And you'll be able to produce the right amount of the right product to the right customer on time. And also to be able to fund multiple production runs for your product. So every product that you design or you create, you'd be able to fund multiple runs of that product based on actual demand and not based on assumptions of what the market needs. And so you can avoid production waste and deliver products when they are actually seasonally appropriate. And now that means basically you are becoming a sustainable brand. So back to the story, we have partnered with a prestigious fashion council Germany, and we have also partnered with a couple of major platforms like Sketch, and Sketch basically connects brands with manufacturers. And the Gadget Flow, if everybody, a lot of people know Gadget Flow from their Discovery product platform. We have been also successful in hitting $1.2 million in pre-orders value for our customers. So we're pretty excited about that, and that should continue hopefully. And here's the important thing is what I learned from my experience of launching a leather goods brand, as well as the crowdfunding situation. So I thought that initially that the journey to my goal was a simple problem solution situation, but it was much more like that than that. And in fact, the reality is different. So what I want to tell you is that you will actually face a lot of problems from all directions. And this is the reality of things. So if your goal is bigger than yourself, and this is very important, you are most likely to hit your goal. If your goal is to serve yourself, you're heading towards nowhere. But if you are trying to help people and solve a problem for them, then you're doing great. But remember that problems are actually guidelines for success, and they tell you what not and what to do, and what you really need to work on. So on the other hand, having no problems basically means you're having a much bigger problem. So you need to have problems to understand where your direction is. And in my case, for example, the problems I went through crowdfunding my backpack led me to a bigger opportunity. And so I shifted my focus from solving my own problem with leather manufacturing to solving a bigger problem for people. And that's how it got started with Fundlify, which is the crowdfunding solution I started. So my advice to you is in your startup journey, I mean, keep an eye on problems, you know, just watch for problems because they can be opportunities. Here are a few other things that that I've learned along the way with those experiences is that, first of all, you need to really know your goals very well to start with, and you need to control what you are doing. You need to understand that you do have control, and because nothing works automatically and nothing moves unless you move it. You cannot blame people on, you know, this happened and that happened, and you know, feeling like desperate. It doesn't work like that. You need to be in control of everything that you do, and you are basically responsible for everything that happens in your business. You cannot blame anybody else, as you know, that's the idea. So you also have to be humble, and humble with people you work with, humble with your with the manufacturers you want to work with, humble with your customers. You have to be honest and clear, and know exactly what you want to tell people. Clarity is very important when it comes to communicating what you want to do with your manufacturers or with your team or with all stakeholders that you know you interact with. You have to also be patient and empathetic with people and kind to others. So one of the fundamental problems is also, you know, you have to face problems, and because problems will happen, and you just need to, you know, take it easy with the problems. Just not avoid them too much. Just say, okay, this is a problem and I need to deal with it. So when you have problems, just prioritize them and, you know, solve them accordingly. And you need to find solutions for yourself, and you need to do that by yourself. So otherwise, you know, solutions will find you. So that's the reality of things. So, and also you need to be passionate and love what you do, because it will take you places. The other points I'd like to point out is that if you don't believe in yourself, believe me, no one will believe in you. And also, one of the things that I used to do is to keep a journal of everything you know, my thoughts, my ideas, my insights, and really plan ahead, even if the plan doesn't go as you planned it. But it's just a good practice of writing down everything that you do, which is great. And one essential part of your success is to visualize what you have, you know, visualize your future, visualize your product. It will save you so much time and effort, and it will, you know, when you visualize something, you will be pulled towards it. So that's a good practice. And remember that you are in the business of creating experiences for other people. So make sure you deliver your best experience to your customers. And remember also that work starts after the sale, doesn't end, you know, because there's a lot of people who think that, you know, when I sold my product, and that's the end of the story. But that's the beginning of the story with your customer, and you need to keep that customer even after sales. So, and your business also isn't only creating great products and great services, although that may be the case, but your business is what makes it work, which is essentially people. So at the end, I would say, love thy customer, and thank you.
Thank you so much, Anas. That was really great. And again, you know, the idea of work starting after the sale, just to draw back that connection to circular economy, customer loyalty, and what you do to increase the customer's experience of the product is so important to them coming back and make it possible to, you know, continue in the certain business model that you have implemented. So I think that's a very important message to nail home. I was wondering if you could just tell us, if let's say I was a company that was producing a line of clothing, what does my interaction, my journey with your company look like?
Well, we have developed a solution that basically sits on top of Shopify platform. Shopify is essentially an e-commerce platform that you can start immediately your selling products online. And I would go for Shopify all in without any hesitation, because not only because I'm a partner of Shopify, but because it is a great way to kickstart your business. So that's one way to do it. And so our application sits on top of Shopify as a plugin, and you can essentially start your own crowdfunding scene through that plugin. So it's an independent. So the idea of Fundlify is a democratized kind of process of, you know, independently crowdfunding your campaigns instead of going to essentially marketplaces where they take a percentage of your revenue. So you do that, like, and you just pay a subscription and that's it. You can launch your own products, which is proven to be quite an effective way to, you know, scale the brand and, you know, minimize production waste.
Yeah, for sure. And also to communicate the quality in a way that you can control so much more powerfully. Just the last question before we maybe, I mean, we're running out of time, but maybe if the audience has a question as well, is just how, briefly, very briefly, your experience of looking for partners, because I'm sure many people are wondering what the best way to do that is. So what was your experience of that?
Well, you have to be patient and you have to communicate with people as much as possible. I mean, there's no way around it. It's just hard work. You just have to contact a lot of people in your area. You need to have that kind of an understanding where you're going and connect with the people who are going in the same direction. And then you will align with those people and then they will connect with you because they have the same goals and aspirations and, you know, they have the same vision for the future. And therefore, you will fit in naturally into that. And they will connect with you and they will love you. And, you know, and the whole story begins with usually a simple email. Just send them an email and they will reply to you and they will see if you have value to add.
Thank you for that. Dua, maybe if there's a question from the audience in the minute that we have left, unfortunately.
Yeah, sure, let me check. I can't see any questions in the chat box. بعد ماني قادرة أشوف أي سؤال بالchat box. بس please اللي عنده أي سؤال أو
دعاء، في سؤال وصلني مباشرة.
أوكي.
عم بسأل كيف أنا عندي أنا شوبيفاي ما بعرف أستعمله. أنا بعرف إنه في أمازون وعلي بابا وإي باي. مناسبين أستعملهم كبداية ولا لا لازم أدخل بشوبيفاي أكتر؟
لا, أنا personally I would go for Shopify because it's independent, because you are trying to build a community of people and customers, and this is crucial for your success because you don't know the customers who are on Amazon. Amazon is not gonna give you details of those customers. So if you're trying to build a brand, go with Shopify without any hesitation. And through Shopify, of course, that you can push your products to eBay, you can push your products to Amazon, you can push your products to anywhere simultaneously, and that's fine.
Okay.